Hey everyone, welcome back to Wild Sonic Farms, and today we're going to be getting into a new video. And before we get into the video, please go on and click the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Let's go on and get into the video. Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Wild Sonic Farms. My name is Grayson. I appreciate you all watching this video. And today we have an awesome video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about some of my spring plans for next year. Some of the things I want to do next year, which next year will be 2025. And let me say something real quick. Can you believe it, guys, that we're almost already at the end of 2024? I figured, and I remember that it was already 2024 just not too long ago. And here we are, time flies by fast. Here we are already talking about 2025. Time's here, time to talk about it. And today I want to talk a little bit about my plans for next year, some of the things I want to do, like what do I want to sell? Do I want to sell anything? Do I want to make it a business? Or do I want to stay as a little hobbyist beekeeper, stay small? And how many hives do I want to get? A lot of beekeepers ask me that question annually in my live streams, my videos, and today we'll be answering it here. And if anybody asks me, I'll still say it, but I'll redirect them to this video so they can know everything that I kind of want to do and hopefully I can accomplish. So first, let's kind of talk a little about some of the things that I am doing now, because right now, the thing that I'm always thinking about is the present time now is really important for our plans in the future. Because if we can't accomplish our plans, our goals, things that we need to do now, we're probably not going to be able to accomplish those plans in the future. So right now, I'm still doing my winter strategy. I'm still in that phase before I'm fully into the spring plan, but I still have that set there where I want it. I kind of know what I want to do. I kind of know where I want to go for next year at least, but who knows what from years to come what I might want to do. So, it's kind of iffy in the next couple of years, but I do kind of know what I want to do next year. But let's talk about now my winter strategy. That's really important. A winter strategy. What is a winter strategy? Well, a winter strategy is basically just kind of thinking about kind of what you want to do in winter, having a strategy for getting your bees, pulling your bees through winter, because we're the people who put those bees in the box. We're the people who do that. So it is, in my view, our responsibility to take care of those bees, make sure they're healthy, make sure we feed them, all those things that we need to do as beekeepers, because we're the ones who put those bees in the box. The bees didn't decide to go in the box unless for some reason they swarmed in when you're apiary. A lot of times that doesn't happen, but it can. But for the most part, we're the ones who put them in the box. It's our responsibility to do it. So, a winter strategy, what's my winter strategy? Pretty much what I'm doing now is feed, feed, feed. That's my biggest goal right now, is to feed these bees heavy. Feed them like crazy. Because right now we still have a lot of warm weather. We have days in the 70s, days in the low 80s, very nice days, sunny days. We actually had some rain today, which we did need a little bit of rain because it was very, very dry. And these bees are going out to try to find things, and our goldenrod flow is done. It's been gone for about 2 weeks, and maybe even more. So now there's nothing out there for them to go get, but since it is warm, they're going out, flying, trying to find food, trying to find nectar, pollen, all these different things that, they go out and get. There's nothing out there. So now right now I'm in this position where I have to feed them, or if I don't, they're burning all these calories, all this food, and if I end up don't feeding them, what's going to happen is they're keeping to burn all this honey, all the food that I fed them from August to now, and so on. Their food sources in the colony, it's going to continue to go down. And when you go in the winter, it's going to go down big time, because once you're getting into winter, they're starting to eat much more food, and they're also burning food whenever they're flying. So if we end up in that scenario, then most likely your bees will starve in the next week or two going into winter. So we have to make sure that's under control. I have to make sure that's under control, and that's what I'm doing. Now, a lot of people are probably up north, so they're already feeding candy boards and all this different stuff. I'm not feeding that yet. I'm not feeding sugar bricks. I'm not feeding candy boards. A candy board is pretty much just a sugar brick on a board. It's pretty much what it is. So that's kind of what we're doing for winter strategy. We already treated for mites. We're pretty much done with mites. We already treated for them. May put some beetle guards in my colony, because those beetles are kind of bad in some colonies, but not really terrible. So very much improved from last year, I will say. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now, and what I plan to do in winter, my winter strategy. I'm trying to keep these bees healthy, keep them strong. I've stated it over and over again if you've watched some of my past videos, but that's what I'm doing. I want to keep my bees healthy. That's what I've always wanted to do. I want to keep them equal, and I've done a little bit of equalization this year, equalizing my colonies. I've done that big time this year, so I'm really happy about that. That's much more improved from last year, because last year I wasn't really equal. All my colonies were going from one is weak, one is weaker, one is a little bit stronger than that weak one, and then so on and so on. And I pretty much only came out with one colony that was decently strong. It wasn't the strongest, but it was fairly strong and enough to get out of winter. And I have much more stronger colonies than that, so I should have a somewhat of a good take going into winter. But I do need to make sure that I stay on these bees, make sure I continue feeding them, and don't let them starve going into winter. So that's pretty much just my winter plans. Nothing big, it's just feeding, keeping these bees healthy. Now, what is my plan for next year? So since I already talked a little bit about my winter strategy, it's pretty basic, pretty simple, pretty sweet. I just want to keep my bees healthy, I want to keep them equal, and I want to continue feeding these bees. That's pretty simple. I think most people know it by now, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Now, what do I want to do next year? What's my goals and my aspirations and my plans for next year, 2025? Well, there's a lot of things that, I can do. I can try to get more into a sideline business. I do have 6 colonies, but it's very doable. Of course, a lot of beekeepers do it. I do know one beekeeper, Seth Hill, who only had like 8 colonies, 8 to 80, but I'm not Seth Hill, so I can't do that. But next year, I kind of want to continue doing it just as a hobby, continue doing it just for some honey here and there, but hopefully in long term, I do want to make it a business. That's something I really want to do, but just not next year. I only have 6 colonies, and I'm not really in the position to do it. I do want to try to catch some swarms next year, but it is something I do want to try to do, set some swarm traps, and see if I can have some better luck. Because I did set out 2, nothing went to it, nothing. Each time when I went down there, I didn't see even a bee flying around it. So I didn't really have luck catching swarms from a box, just setting a box up in a tree, but I do plan to hopefully do more of that next year, and hopefully get more cutouts and some swarms, so I can get some freebies, and I can also be able to kind of widen out so people know who I am. So if more people know who I am in our area, I might be able to get more calls in for whether it be swarms and cutouts. But that's kind of what I want to do next year, is be able to continue removing some bees and catching some bees, so I can kind of keep that up as well. So kind of try to do that a little bit next year. And a lot of beekeepers, this is the most asked question on the channel, in live streams, sometimes in just regular videos. How many hives do you want to get to next year? How many hives do you want to get up to next year? Well, to answer that question, I'm just going to do like a little margin. I kind of want to get up to about 10 to 15 colonies next year, a very doable scenario that I would like to accomplish next year. 10, 15 colonies would be sweet next year. I'm happy with that. A little honey next year, hopefully get a little bit of honey, because I was able to get a good bit this year. 7.5 gallons of honey and about 90 bottles of honey. That's 12-ounce and 8-ounce jars with some other big jars and glasses as well. So I did get a good bit of honey this year, and I hope to get more next year as well. So also, I've always thought about doing a business out of it one day, but like I said earlier, unfortunately, I'm not really gonna be able to be in the position to do it next year. But I do have a lot of the equipment to do some queen rearing. So if next year, if I am in the position, am I gonna do it? For sure, I'll do it. I have all the tools, all the things I need, except I did lose the grafting tool, the Chinese grafting tool. That's really my favorite. It was really easy to use. I wasn't perfect at it, but I was able to get some queens. I was able to actually do some successful queens. The only reason why those two died was because I didn't put them in the hive quick enough. It took me so long to be able to find a colony, and it ended up, before I even was able to do it, like 3 or 4 days, I left it just in another colony just to kind of let those bees feed it. Unfortunately, the queen died. So that was unfortunate, but it wasn't a complete failure. But I didn't get a lot of queens last year. I didn't really, none of the queens that are out in the beard right now are mine. So, but that really wasn't a failure. Just, I do need to continue to improve at queen rearing, because here's the thing. I've always talked about success, and you just got to kind of keep at it. The only reason why I'm not doing it now is because I'm just not really in the position with with like a whole boatload of bees to do it, because right now I'm still have a lot of strong colonies, don't get me wrong, but I just don't have enough colonies right now to make it efficient, should I say, to make it efficient right now. But hopefully in the future, maybe even next year, who knows, if all my colonies are heavy and all of them are strong and I have about 10 to 15 colonies, I'll be in a great position to do it. Depending on which colonies I use for honey and which ones I decide to use for grafting and things like that. So next year we will do some try grafting if everything falls in the right place. If it doesn't, then I'll still have the equipment and everything I'll need. So then when I get comfortable and when I get in a position to do it, I'll do it. So that's kind of where that stands. Making money wise, I'll probably try to make a little money to put back into the business with some honey. Not really been in the queen market yet, because that goes back to grafting and stuff like that. And I haven't really been in the market with selling nukes or anything, because I'm still not in the position to do that either. Just so then, if you're new here, so you know, because a lot of beekeepers probably know who watch my channel, I'm just not in the best position for that right now. But I do still have 6 very strong colonies, which have made me a good bit of honey. So, I guess I've gave a good bit of what I'm going to be doing next year. I do have a lot of drawn comb, so that's going to be something good. That's a really good thing for me, since I have all that drawn comb. What that's going to do for me is, if I want to use some of that drawn comb for some nukes, or if I want to put it in a 5 and a 10 frame box and put the other 5 frames of bees, a nuke, put them in there, so then they'll be able to expand fast. That's also very, very good, and that's going to be something that I'll definitely use and rely on, since I got a good bit of drawn comb from this year. Well, so that's pretty much it of my plan for next year. That's kind of what I want to do. I just want to kind of try to expand just a little bit, and maybe if everything falls in the right place, try some queen rearing, kind of get better and improve at that. Not really going to sell anything big next year, except for maybe some honey if everything falls in the right place too. So I just need to make sure I get all these bees through winter now. And if I do that, I'll be set in a good scenario next year, going into spring, to do some splits and expand my bee yard. And next year might just be a big expansion year. Then the next year might be where I might be set up for some other things, like maybe making some nukes to sell, or maybe making some queens to sell as well. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Go on, click the thumbs up button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you for watching. So other than that, thank you all for watching. Take care, and we will see y'all next time.